So I don't want to talk about the pureness aspect of this, right? You know, a virgin woman is a pure woman, and a woman who's not a virgin is not a pure woman. That kind of stuff. I don't want to talk about that. Why? Because it leaves a lot of loopholes for us men. Why? Because women can come in here and say that, oh, men are not pure either if they're not virgin, even though men and women are not equal. But hey, even if you argue with somebody about this till your face turns blue, they're still not gonna buy into it. All right. So I want to talk about some other points. I want to bring up some other points, and I really hope that some of us here, blue pill male, because I know some blue pill males are watching me, and ladies as well. The whole 3% of you guys, some ladies are watching me as well. I hope that all of us can find some sort of common ground in some of these points that I'm going to be talking about, right? Because I know that not every single one of you ladies out there are crazy and just burst out in your emotions. Some of you might actually take in what I'm saying and actually think about it even for a little bit, or at least that's what I would like to think. I'm optimistic, right? So I'll leave it at that. So let's talk about the first point, which is evolution. Why do you think, fellas, is that back in the days when we didn't have the cops and the military, that women were the subservient one and men were the quote unquote ruler of everything? Why do you think women are physically weaker than us men? Why do you think they're born that way? Now, hey, this is not a women hating video. This is not women being weaker than men. I'm talking down on women, right? This is not about any of that. I'm just showing you guys the facts. Why do you think women naturally are weaker than men? Sure, there are some women who are strong bodybuilders, power lifters, whatever. But if you compare those bodybuilder and powerlifter numbers that are women to the men bodybuilder and powerlifters, the men just outnumber women by at least 100 or 200,000 at least, right? The ratio is not even comparable. It's probably 1 to 100, one strong woman to 100 strong men. So why do you think this is? Because nature or God or whatever it is, or evolution, whatever it is that you believe in, evolution of monkey from monkey to human, whatever it is that you believe in, knew that there has to be yin and a yang, right? There has to be a balance. There has to be somebody who's leading, and there has to be followers. But being a follower doesn't make you weak. But simultaneously, women had their own strengths, which is growing a family, creating children, being social, raising children. Men couldn't do all this. Men still suck at raising children nowadays, right? I mean, so do women, because I'm not talking about today's modern women. Obviously, if you compare today's modern women raising their kids versus a regular man raising his kids by himself, the man is doing a much better job. But I'm talking about a traditional woman, and today, even in today's time, are gonna do a much better job raising children than a man would. And you guys think that raising children is something to look down upon, right? We should ignore that. We should neglect raising children. When you are failing to understand that without these children, there is no future. These children are our next generation of people. The humankind, the race, have to keep going. This is why we reproduce. This is why sex is the strongest drive in mankind. And this is why guys do so much, go above and beyond, and simp so much just to get a taste of that pussy. So no, raising children is not some frivolous job. It's actually very, very, very important. But also, men have to make sure these children that are not in the situation to take care of themselves, to feed themselves, are being fed, aka the man is bringing the money home. But if he's doing that, he can't take care of the home. And the man can do a much better job getting the money than the woman can. And the woman can do a much better job taking care of the home than the man can. This is not something of my opinion. I am just talking about evolution back in the days. That's how it was. Why? Because when men went out, they had the fear of losing their life. So they had to be stronger and faster of the two genders. Sorry. So the stronger and the faster of the two genders had to be the one to go out and get the money. aka kill the mammoth, bring the bacon home, fight other tribes off so that they don't come in and kill our people and take all our women. That's and men happen to be that physically stronger and faster creatures out of those two. I don't even want to talk about intelligence or any of that in this video right now, okay? So what are we seeing today? And oh, by the way, that worked for humankind for hundreds and thousands of years, right? This is why we are still surviving as a humankind. But what are we seeing now? This is why back in the days when that system worked, that traditional system worked, where the women stayed in and the women only found one mating partner and pair bonded with him and had his children, and he made sure he protected and provided for them, and together they grew as a family, and then from a family as a social tribe, and then from a social tribe to a big empire, and then from one empire to multiple empires, depending on how strong the men were, right? Not how strong the women were. And that system worked for hundreds and thousands of years. This is why humans are still alive. Humans didn't go extinct, because we found a system that works. You know, if men were machines, or if women were machines, then we wouldn't have this problem. Men could bring the money home and could raise the children very, very, very efficiently. My key word right here, efficient. What are you more efficient at? And same thing, if women were machines and not humans, they could get the money and raise the children efficiently. So you have to find what it is that you are efficient at. This is why when people are thinking about going to college, it's always advised that you find what it is that you are good at. Me, personally, I was good at math and science and physics, so that's why I went to engineering school. I wasn't good at art, I wasn't good at medical stuff, so I didn't go to med school, I didn't go to art school. But if I wanted to go to school for whatever it is that I have a passion for, or whatever it is that I have a hobby for, my life would have turned out different. Because for most people, what you're good at is not what you have a hobby for. So you have to make sure you have to find out what it is that you're good at, make money off of that, because that's more efficient to go about doing that than trying to make money off of something that you just like or enjoy doing, that you have a hobby for, because that takes more work, and more work means more time being put in. And time is the biggest asset that all of us have and none of us have at the same time. $5 billion cannot buy you 5 seconds of more time. And that's why to be able to become more efficient is very, very, very vital, very important, because our lifespan is only so long, right? Anyway, so that's that point. And now what are we doing? Now what are we seeing? We're seeing that we're being forced to change that role. Women are now being empowered to go sleep with more men, to get the bag, to get the money, to get the college degree. So, and they're being empowered to raise children at home after they get their career, right? Okay, now that you've had your career, you have had your fun, now go out and make the family. So they're empowered to have it all, to do it all. That kind of a mindset, right? We're forcing it. We're forcing a system that worked for hundreds of thousands of years into something else that's clearly not working. How do I know it's clearly not working? Because suicide rates are all-time high. So humans are not existing, or humans are not living or surviving off of this new system. So clearly it's not working out. Single motherhood is rising off there, is just plummeting up. Marriage rates are dropping, divorce rates are skyrocketing high. What else? What else is happening? Unemployment is low. Sorry, unemployment is high, right? People don't have jobs, people don't have purpose. Depression is all-time high. Men are becoming more and more pussified. That rate is becoming all-time high. We don't have strong men anymore. Man, do you have any idea how tough mentally men were back in the World War I, World War II days? Holy crap, these dudes fighting with one leg being blown off of their body. And they're still holding one gun. One arm and one leg is gone off their body, and they're still holding one gun and killing motherfuckers. Those were the tough men back then. And today, If you just walk into a wall and you hit your head in the wall because it was dark and you didn't see that there was a wall in front of you, you start icing yourself, crying, going to the mirror every 5 minutes to check and see if you have a bruise or whatnot. That's what today's men have become. We're looking at these Instagram pictures and seeing that these IG models who are men, what they're looking like with six-pack abs and trying to make sure their skin is glowing and spending all this time and money on nice clothes and nice hair products and all this. And don't get me wrong, guys, you have to take care of yourself. Looks are important, but when you surround your whole existence around that, but you're not mentally tough at all, you have a different problem now. You're not a man anymore. You're literally a woman, because that's what women do. They have a $1 billion industry, which is the makeup industry, just for women, not for men. But now our men today are starting to act like women. Anyway, so, oh, by the way, for what though? To flex. Men are doing all this to flex, to get more pussy, because that's what they're being taught. Why? Because there's this new system that we're trying to force on people is teaching men just that, is that, hey, you just have to be a pretty boy. Women want cute guys. Yes, as I said, looks are important, but you're lacking all the masculine traits. And that's why you see handsome guys getting turned down as soon as they will open their mouth with the woman. They're getting all the choosing signals, but as soon as they start talking, the woman gets turned off. Anyways, so clearly this new system is not working. So clearly, women sleeping around so much is part of this new system, right? Because that's the empowerment. That's what feminism is selling us, our women, right? So clearly that's not working. So clearly now you see my first point about how important a woman's virginity really is here now, don't you? Let's talk about the comparison point. What do I mean by that? Fellas, men and women both. If you sleep with one woman or 500 women, you're always going to have someone to compare the new woman with, right? If you only slept with one woman, the second woman who comes in, you're going to compare the second woman to that first woman, how that sex was with her versus the first one, right? Same thing with women. Now, here's what it differs a little bit from men and women, because our psychology is different. Men, we're visual. Women, they're emotional. So that's why there's the saying that goes, you have to get in her head before you get in her bed. So when we're smashing a woman, if the woman is emotionally attached to us, that's all it takes. Doesn't even matter if we're that good in bed or not. She's still gonna come. But if the woman sucks in bed, but she's very sweet talker of a sweetheart of a person, and she doesn't look as appealing, we're not going to get our rocks off of this. I don't know about you guys, but there's been plenty of times where I was with a woman who was really good looking, but she just turned me off every time she opened her mouth. So I had to imagine some other girl in my head that I'm having sex with. Or I was with a 4 or a 5, and she looked like a 4 and a 5 on her pictures, but as soon as she took her clothes off, she looked like a 2 or 3. Now I'm having to imagine other women in my head. But with women, you're already in their head. So the dynamics works a little bit different here. So when you have a lot more to compare as a man, you're not mentally damaged as much as the woman is, because you're getting in her head. Every new guy who she's sleeping with is in her head in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And that's why when that guy leaves, he's taken part of her psychology away from her, part of her mindset away from her. For us men, no, it's okay, it was just a piece of ass. And that's why a man can still smash other women and still love his woman at home just as much as he did before he left, but not the same for a woman. And that's why I said this is why we differ a little bit, and women won't understand about this point that I just made, and that's okay. But let me bring up my next point. Why do you think we men find it very gross when we find out that a woman has a high body count? Another reason behind that is because we tend to automatically think to ourselves that, man, I'm sucking another dude's dick every time I kiss her on the lips, because of all the places that mouth has been on. But a woman doesn't think that way. She doesn't think that, oh, I'm gonna kiss another woman's clit just because he smashed so many chicks and he was eating all these girls out. Why? Because when a woman sees a man with other women, she gets attracted to him. That means women are groupies. They have a group-minded individual. They have a group-minded mindset. They're group-minded individuals. But when a man sees a woman with a bunch of different men, she's a slut. He doesn't find her attractive. Now you can come in here and say, "Oh, that's a double standard. Men, this shouldn't be like this, that, and the other." Hey, I didn't make us. I'm just the messenger. I'm keeping it 100 with you guys, keeping it all the way real. So far, am I wrong about any of this? Am I at least not wrong? Am I lying about any of this, fellas? Anybody, men, women, just leave a comment below. I want to know. What am I lying about? So far, everything I have said is the truth. You don't have to agree with me. Just leave a thumbs up. Click the like button below. That way I will know that you agree with me. You don't have to leave a comment so people don't see your name. That's okay. Your secrets are safe with me, bro. So this is why it's very, very important for a man to either find a virgin or to make sure that his woman has not been run through as many times. And that is the tricky part. You don't know about her past. You can only guess. You will never know 100%. And that's the risk you are taking. That's a dice you're rolling. You're gambling at this point. That's why it's so important for men to find either those two type of woman, either a virgin woman or a woman with low body count, when he's thinking about pair bonding long term, aka long-term relationship or marriage, because of the same point I mentioned earlier in the video about raising his children, about making the family work. Because clearly this new system, this feminism and this new progressive system that we're seeing in today's society is not working. And men know that. We're not stupid. We're seeing it. And this is why men look for girls who are virgins or are not as promiscuous. And that's why it's that important for a woman to be a virgin, not necessarily for a man to be a virgin, because what a man is wanted for by the society and by other women is not what a woman is wanted for by the society and for other men. By the men and by the society. It's two different things. But as I said, you guys are trying to force it. You guys are just trying to force the system and change it into something else that's clearly not working. The same system that's been working for hundreds of thousands of years. We're forcing it now, and now we're seeing depression, now we're seeing suicides, now we're seeing destruction of mankind. So how much more do we have to see till we stop, ladies? That's my question to you. And this is why you see that men are always going to be smashing and dashing to girls with high body count. You'll never see us dating you or taking you seriously, because we can turn on and off that switch in our head where just sex means nothing to us emotionally. It's just a physical thing. While in women, you'll see that even a woman with high body count wants to have some sort of a bond, some sort of a conversation before she hooks up. Because every woman wants to be a hoe, but not every single woman wants to feel like a hoe. Mark my words, write that shit down. Every woman wants to be a hoe, but not every woman wants to feel like one. So it's your job as a guy, if you're just trying to smash and dash, is to make sure you make her feel comfortable. It's all about feelings, right? She has to feel this way. She has to do, like, you have to do this to have her feel in a certain way. Not that for us men. We're always feeling one thing and one thing only, horny. So, last thing I want to leave you guys with is that one of my viewers left a comment on the last video, said he was 16, that means he's still in high school, and all these people are shaming him in his high school when he talks about women's virginity and how important this is. We clearly can see it's important, right? Because another thing is that when a woman you'll sorry, I forgot to mention this point, is that when a woman has high body count, you'll notice that she's not the same person as she was when she was a virgin. It's a night day difference. You'll see her posting more skimpy, you'll see her take off more and more of her clothes and post more revealing pictures of herself on Instagram. You'll see her talking in a different way because all these guys she's sleeping with is rubbing off on her. Her lingo is gonna change. She's gonna start acting different. She's gonna start being more stuck up. She's gonna start just overall changing into a different person. It doesn't happen like that with men. We just become more confident. That's it. Woman doesn't become confident. She becomes more promiscuous. Because if women really became confident like that, the more people they slept with, then they wouldn't have the need to keep posting more and more skimpy outfit pictures to more and more to show more and more cleavage and ass and titties to get more and more likes, because it's likes that's feeding her narcissist side. Without these likes on Instagram, without this attention of us men, she doesn't feel good about herself. It's like a drug. The more she takes it, the more she wants it. And it kind of is the same way with men too. That's why I tell men, hey, stay off the dating apps, stay off all this chasing ass, this bull crap, and this, that, and the other. But you'll notice that a woman is a completely different person when she's into 10 guys of sleeping around with versus when she didn't have any guy to sleep around with versus when she was a virgin. Completely different person. Just her whole lifestyle changes, fellas. The whole lifestyle, what she does, what she eats, when she sleeps, when she wakes up, how she talks to her, even her friends, everything changes. And you ladies know I'm not lying. Anyway, so yeah, the last thing I want to leave you guys with is that this kid left a comment saying that he was getting hate from his high school kids about being a virgin and saying that women's virginity is really important, this, that, and the other. First of all, bro, if you're a red pill man, just realize that around you is still the blue pill world. So keep your mouth shut. Otherwise, you're going to be stripped away from your social position. You're going to be completely isolated. And I don't want that happening to you. If one of these blue pill simps gets some sort of a red pill taste, maybe he gets his heart broken or whatever, and comes to you or even just shares something with you, then maybe you can feed him a little bit of scrap about some red pill information. Just direct him to my channel, that's it. But don't just open your mouth and start spreading all this thing expecting people are just going to accept it with open arms. They're going to think you're crazy. Be very, very, very smart with that. When I'm around other people, even around my family, I act dumb. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. Oh, really? Women do that? Oh, okay. Oh, what? Oh, really? You just broke up with your boyfriend? Oh, okay, so you're going to hang out with another guy? Oh, okay. Okay, have fun. But fellas, we're still small in number, and that's why I tell you guys to share my videos, or even if you don't want to share, just like and subscribe, because that way it helps the YouTube algorithm to put my video in front of other men's profile or in front of other men, so they can watch my content and wake up to this. You don't have to show your face. You don't have to preach this message, share this message, none of that, so that you don't get the hate from people around you. I get it, but at least help the YouTube algorithm help me out, right? But anyways, hey man, I'm not begging for anything here. I'm not doing this for fame. You guys know this. I do it to save lives. I've saved plenty of men's life, and I will keep doing so as long as I'm alive. Hope this video made sense. Follow me on Instagram at Zeekpeak. Like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, stay blessed, stay beautiful, and above all, stay classy.